welcome to MaNaPaTau Chronicles. How are you guys doing? Thank you very much for joining us once again. Thank you very much for all the subscribers that we've had so far. We managed to finally hit 5K subscribers. Thank you very much. Small steps, milestones too, ndogo. One day we shall be celebrating hitting 100,000 subscribers, and we will remember this video when we hit 5K subscribers. Some of you
5K? We've already hit 5K
No,
subscribers.
we will remember this day when we hit 5K subscribers.
We have 5K subscribers.
No, when we hit 100,000 subscribers, we will remember this day. This day being the day when we hit 5K subscribers. Kisugu imekulemea. Kisugu imekuwa ngumu.
You know why inanilemea? It's because it's not today that we hit 5K subscribers.
No.
We hit 5K subscribers some week back.
I know, but I'm saying in the video before this one, we were not at 5K. But in this video, we are at 5K.
Sorry, Basi.
We're loving the feedback.
Yeah.
We're loving your comments. We love that we get to speak to some of you in ways that we did not anticipate or expect.
The disclaimer is we are not advising or telling this is a way to go. We're just sharing our experiences.
Saying that this is what worked for us and this is what did not work for us. These are the areas where we succeeded and these are the areas where we failed miserably and terribly.
Sometimes in some areas we're still figuring it out.
Yeah, Apo was still figuring it out every single day. And you can't stop learning. You have to keep on learning every day. So today's topic is a hard one.
It's not really.
It definitely is not easy being vulnerable. And what we want to share about today is our relationship with money and how it's affected the kind of persons that we have grown up to be. So you want to start or want me to start?
Why do I have to start?
Okay, let me start. I would categorize my growing up as not rich but not poor. If there's one thing that I never even was allowed access to was my money.
What do you mean?
Sikuwa ninapatiwa pesa hivi.
Then kudos to your parents because they had the power. They had the power to spoil you and bring you up entitled.
Now that's the thing.
They didn't.
I was not spoiled.
Well done, mommy and daddy.
I was not entitled. Sikuwa nikipatiwa pesa. And it didn't make sense to me that we have a shop that was doing fine. Nasikuwa napatiwa hata 5 bob nene nikanunue kangumu mahali ama sukari nguru. Yet the other kids in school were doing it. Now that's my young child. That's my childish mind thinking that, you know. At the time when my dad went to the UK, at some point I discovered, not that I knew then, because I don't even know between when he left and when I found out that they had separated. So when my dad went to the UK, it's not that he left us. No, he did not leave us.
Yeah, make that clear.
He went to find greener pastures.
While also taking care of his family.
Yes, and which he continued doing.
Yeah, make that clear.
It's just that something happened in between there
that you don't know.
That I do not know, that the relationship between my mom and my dad changed. Yeah, it's changed. My mom did a stellar job raising me. Because
thank you, Mama.
In the circumstances where I would really want that money and I'd go into the shop at night and pick a couple of notes and then it is discovered the following day, because every good business owner does their records by the end of the day. So in the morning they'll notice there's something
is missing.
Something is missing.
Beat you up.
My friend, I was fucked. Mom, I know you will be watching this at some point. I remember that beating to this day because I think I stole 1,000 bob and 1,000 bob in 1997, 98 was a lot of money.
1,000 bob was like $1 million then.
Was a lot of money. So I didn't even manage to finish that 1,000 bob. Nilikuwa na katabia tu kakukula makalamu. Marto anajua akipatiwa pen, akiuma tu hivi utanunua pen mpya. I think at the end of the term I've accrued debts for like 15 people. So that's a pen. That's a pen each for like 15 people, 10 bob for a pen. I think back then biro pens were 10 shillings, yes? And then that's 150 bob. Mimi, the closing day, Unajua watu wanakuambiaga nitafunga na wewe. Wewe Marto wewe tutafunga na wewe. Marto akafanya nini? Sana. Mimi nilikuwa nikichapwa. So Marto akaenda usiku akachukua note. Hata sijui nimechukua pesa ngapi. I discover in the morning that it is how much it is. So nimeingia hiyo closing day in baller status. Mazee cue music. Ndio huyo Marto anachiki mse wa ice za Bob. Oya, peweni. Peweni. Watu wanamumunya tu. Maji na sukari, hata sijui ni aje hatuna diabetes sisi wote. Maji na sukari tu, watu kunyonya. Nimespoil watu hapo hivyo sema wewe ilikuwa na how much? 10 bob. Pewa. Shik hata ni kuongezea 5 bob. Kula sukari nguru pale. I think I went back home with 550 shillings because I wanted to continue using it during the holiday. Nikachimba mchanga, nikaweka ndani, nikafunika. Wacha mam sasa sini jioni. Mam naye hakuaga tina hapanic. Atashtuka atakuja hadi shule kuniuliza pesa iko wapi. Si anajua nitarudi tu nyumbani. Akaniuliza Martin.
Calmly.
Yes.
Kilikuwa ninaanza na wewe kwa
kwanza usiku kulikuwa na wageni. I'm telling you that the beating I got that day I remember to date.
What?
Kulikuwa na wageni usiku. So mimi nilikuwa nikijua hapa hatakuwa pressure kidogo, madhe ako busy na wageni, so hata nisumbua. Labda ali notice lakini atasahau. Wageni wakamaliza wakatoka wakaenda. Martin kuja. Ulichukua pesa kwa duka, ulitumia kufanya nini? Hajaniuliza kama nilichukua pesa. Ananiambia nilichukua.
I know.
Niko nahitaji pen. Pen kuna nyingi kwa duka. Sisi ni stockists wa pen Isiolo town. What do you mean bwana? Pen if you wanted ungesema tu. Zingekuja kukuja. So okay, nilikuwa na madeni za watu. Okay, ati ulifanya nini? Ulikula kalamu. Okay. Kwa nini unakula kalamu za wenyewe? Yet kuna mapen nyingi hapa kwa duka. Ungechukua tu pens hapa kwa duka badala ya kukula za wenyewe. Haya, so ilibaki pesa ngapi? 550. Okay, endo niletee. Nikienda nikachimba nini nikatoa nikamrudishia. Sema very good. Sasa my friend nilikuliwa vibare kila mahali kwa mwili. And because of such experiences I was never allowed to have money.
Would you blame
money that I would say, by the way, I have cash. Even when I went to high school, pocket money nilikuwa nikifeel ni kama finyiwa kwa tap. Watu walikuwa wanaenda wanaangusha mkate nusu hapo hivyo kwa canteen. Nusu na njugu kwanza alafu na avocado. Unajua unaweka hivi mkate, uweke njugu hapo mimine, alafu upake avocado, uwekele hiyo deka ya njugu. That was not me.
It was actually a very good thing that mom did not like. I'm sure that one instant alisoma kitu like okay, if I'm not careful with this child and grew up to a
very entitled and spoiled. Yes. Access to money was very limited. Very limited.
As it should have been.
Yeah. Even if I wanted money for just something for myself, I had to explain why I want that thing.
Now.
Yeah. And why I should be given that money. And what I'm planning to do to make sure I earn that money. Things get to people in different ways. Yeah. But this is the one thing that really got to me. That I didn't want to explain every time. Watch and itafute. That's why immediately after high school, I joined traveling theater. I didn't even wait. Immediately after high school.
To make your money.
And the proudest moment was when I sent money home. And I'm glad I grew up like that.
Probably you'd be a totally different person. You'd be very bad with money because you wouldn't have a deeper appreciation for it. So I think it's great.
Yeah, because of the kind of upbringing that I had, I always used money for the important things. So even when my dad decided to be sending money to me, you know what I'd do? I'd just give it straight to mom. Because, I mean, she's the one who's at the time in charge of the home. Yeah, she's the one who's taking care of us. Even when this money is not there, she's the one who's taking care of us.
The dynamics changed when your father left. Things were not the same.
My mom did a fantastic job
Kuficha.
of ensuring that how she founded our lives, she wanted to keep it at that. And with that, I saw my mom make some drastic decisions. For example,
Thank you. It's more understandable.
the situation in Isiolo became a bit uncomfortable because we'd mostly gone there because that's where my dad worked at the time when he was DO. And now when he left and we had the business here that was in Isiolo, there was nothing else tethering us to Isiolo. She had a friend in Thika. She's like, okay, sawa, sounds like an idea. Let's go to Thika. We left, came to Thika. One's understanding of resources is based on on what they have been exposed to.
Yes. This is true.
Yeah, it's based on what. So I was exposed to a 3-bedroom house where I get a room with my brother. My mom has her own room with my dad, and then we have one guest room. You know, that's what I grew up with. I grew up with. I grew up with seeing. I grew up with seeing a dining table in the living room. I grew up with seeing that kashimo kitchen. You know, I grew up. Let us
laugh together, you poor. So, my friend, you are privileged.
So, moving from that to 2-roomed house, natuko mimi, my mom, my brother, my uncle, and my cousin. Room moja hapa, room ingine hapo, alafu choo na bafu tunatumia communal za watu nje.
Ulikuwa like,
we're like, okay, but
what happened?
But I knew and I understood, this is temporary. It's because we've just moved to Thika. This is the first house we could find. This is where we are living. At the time we moved to Thika, that was just when I had gone to high school. Because we moved from Isiolo when I done my KCPE.
Okay.
Just when I done my KCPE.
And had your dad started sending money only to you?
No, mine was still being sent to my mom because that was money for school fees and whatnot. Yeah. So nilikuwa nikienda, mi napewa tu school fees, nyumbani nilikuwa nikiona tu holiday. Na holiday, things were okay. This was a new environment, so I needed to learn new areas. I had a bike that I was moving around with and I was fine.
A bike? A bike? Whoa.
You're making me feel weird.
Because I grew up in the ghetto. My relationship with money is polar. I am on both sides of the spectrum, which is weird. But anyway, this is how it starts. I had a tough upbringing. Mi nashangaa unasema ati mimi nimekuja kuona choo ndani ya nyumba after campo. After campo ndio nimekuja kuona choo ndani ya. Okay, not after campo.
Wewe.
Myself, listen.
Wewe hapo ningekatabu na wewe. Oh my God, you guys have indoor plumbing? Oh my gosh, abacha hizo. Nonsense.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I think I saw a toilet inside the house for the first time when we moved to Voi. And that was, I think I was 11, 12. That's when I was like, hiya, okay, choo ndani ya nyumba. Because normally I would see that at other people's homes. But Mimi and like my younger childhood, 2-roomed house yenye unasema, that was big for us. I remember at some point it got really bad to a point where milk was a luxury, man. I think it was a period where nurses hawakulipwa for a few months by the then President Moi. And things were really bad. And my mom, this is something else that I have learned from her. When things are tough, you tough it out.
But then when you think about ati she was a nurse, you think, alikuwa anafanya kazi hosi. Si alikuwa sawa.
Hapana.
Nurses walikuwa wako fiti sana bwana.
Hapana. Sijui nurses wa gani ulikuwa unaona.
We nurses walikuwa wana slave bwana with.
Nurses wa gava. Unless you are in private hospital. As a government hospital nurse, to date the government still doesn't pay nurses what they are due. And that is the absolute truth. To date. For real.
Continue.
For real. People are going to come for you in the comments.
No,
Yako.
this is saying to the government.
Oh.
This is saying to the government wewe.
To date.
Continue.
To date. Anyway.
Guy, nimesema hivi to the government. Okay, nilimaanisha tafadhali serikali
Please.
lipeni
Woo.
pay our nurses.
This is cute.
Thank you.
This is cute. Anyway, so it got so bad to some point where milk was a luxury. Sukari was a luxury. Like one of her friends came to our house, and because my mom is not, I don't know if she views it as weakness, but asking for help is not her style. She's like, it's tough, you tough it out. You go with the flow. So mi kukunywa surungi as a child was kawaida to me, sugarless. It's fine. Na nilikuwa tu sawa nakunywa surungi na naenda shule. That was okay. That was my norm. So her friend came and saw the state of our house. So hata hakumwambia nampeleka supermarket. Aliwingisha supermarket akamwambia take everything you need. You can imagine for a friend to come to your house, see what's going on and take to the supermarket and akwambia take what you need. You can imagine what she saw in that house. So, and then again, this is the situation my mother was in, because I tried to put myself in her shoes. You're sort of the firstborn, okay? Who is taking care of your parents at home? So she has two parents who are incapacitated, have no means to take care of themselves. She has her siblings. So there was a lot going on with my mom. So I sort of understand why our lives were so down. Tulikuwa down, like down. My upbringing means sijui yati kupewa pesa ukanunue ngumu. What's that? Sijui kununuliwa bike. What's that?
Mtoto akitaka.
What's that? TV niliona for the first time, I think nikiwa class 6. I saw my mom really struggle. My mom really struggled because largely I believe her income, one, she didn't have financial help with my dad or from my dad for quite some time. Quite time I think walikuwa wamekosana vibaya sana. There wasn't even, I don't even think there was communication between the two of them. And so now she has her salary that is not only has to take care of her child with, but also extended. Nyumbani yeye ndiye anaangaliwa. Siblings wake ndio wanamwangalia. So me at a bike, I don't, to date, me sijui ride bike. What do you mean? Because even the neighborhoods I grew up in, bike ilikuwa nini? What's a bike? You know? So that taught me, hey, Christina, you've got to get out of this situation, especially now, because in that situation, I didn't know any better. That was my reality. I knew this is how it is. This is how life is. Wenye walikuwa na kula chipo, wanakuja tuambia vile walienda wakakula chipo, they were well off to me. Until I went and saw my father's side of the family. What?
Extreme.
I was like, wait a minute. Pull up. People have fridges and sijui how many burners of cooker. Like, it was an extreme difference. Like, whoa. This is how people with money live. This is how people, like, I mean, you have your own compound, you have your vehicles, you have all these things. It was an extreme difference to me, and that's when my mind sort of opened up. And I remember my dad took us to a hotel because tulikuwa tunaishi Voi, so we'd move to Mombasa, connect to Nairobi, Kampala, kwa plane. I remember we slept in a 5-star hotel, and I couldn't use fork and knife. And I remember struggling with fork and knife manenos. I was like, what are these? These are things we see on the TV. What are these? Anyway, so it was just an extreme end of the spectrum. So when I'm exposed to this other side of the spectrum where there is great abundance, and coming from a side of where there is sort of serious great lack, I was like, how do I transition? How do I move from this to this? I need to find a way of moving from this to this. And I think that's when I started applying myself so much in school, because again, it was engraved in me. Work hard in school, pass your exams, do well, you're going to be successful. And I was like, I am doing everything in my power to get out from this spectrum, from this other side of the spectrum. So with money, that also taught me kuwa mkonogamu. Like, I always feel an immense dread within me and guilt sometimes when I'm making a huge purchase for myself. I remember when I bought my cooker at 20k using my first yenye nimekuwa nikicomplain sana. I was very proud of that cooker.
See hii haiko
tulishapeana. I remember there's always this existential dread and just fear, constant fear of lack Constant fear of what I have right now will run out and I will go back to that end of the spectrum, which wasn't so nice to be at. Of course, we're not the other high end of the spectrum. We are working our way towards there, but we're also not badly off.
Yeah.
So
we are. So looking at it, this is almost like how I grew up. This is almost like how
we did not grow up the same, sir.
No, I'm saying
Sir.
how we're living now is like how I grew up. Like for me, it's
You've gone back
It's this
in a
level.
balance.
Yeah, it's this
What?
level. It's this level.
What?
Yeah. What?
For me, I'm like, yo! I have my own bedroom, son, and in my bedroom, I have my own bathroom, my own toilet, son. What?
So you married up.
There's a tap.
So you
I
married
remember
up.
Yeah. Although I didn't find you in this house, so I didn't marry up. Oh. I came and you leveled up. Can we make that clear? I came into your life and you leveled up. Okay? I remember that kuosha vyombo tulikuwa tunaosha nje because there wasn't a tap in the house. So this is huge for me. I always have a holding sense with money. Even you've noticed, I am the miser of this relationship. Like before we spend on anything, you have to explain to me why. You have to make me see sense why we needed to spend this money on this.
Like I said, I have gone back to where I was when I was growing up. I was running away from explaining to my mother why I need to spend money.
Her reasons
now
were,
I'm explaining to my wife why I need to spend money.
Her reasons were different. My reasons are I have an existential fear of running out of what we have now and going back to a place where milk is a luxury, sugar is a luxury. Tulikuwa tunakunywa uji na chumvi. I remember going to my grandmother's place. I saw this Kikuyu food ikienjoyiwa on Twitter. Naitwa ngoja mato, where you cook ugali.
It's actually
and then
it's MBN.
And
it's MBN.
That food was like Sunday best. Hiyo ilikuwa Sunday best. Hiyo tulikuwa tumeweza tukikula hiyo ugali.
Ugali yenye kona kila kitu imemixiwa ndani.
That was a specialty food in my grandmother's house. So that should give you an idea of how I grew up. If that was the luxury, my upbringing wasn't that nice.
Yeah.
So it takes me to a place where even spending money on my cooker, which I bought with my hard-earned money, was a lot. I remember buying, nikisema, Christine, you're spending a whole 20K on your cooker. What if katikati nini ama uambiwe kesho usikuje job? What are you going to do? There's this fear and anxiety even for things that I deserve, things that I should buy myself, things I should spend on myself, how I make money decisions. There's always a fear behind it.
So
a fear of lack in the future behind it. I think this is where we have a constant need to be financially free.
Yeah.
Not stable. Because even when we are financially stable, the fear will still be there.
Yeah, true.
You're like, okay, we're financially stable, but we need to take care of how we spend this, because in future, we could go back into the ghetto or go back into something that isn't nice. Is that the right way to be with money though?
Wahenga walisema,
where does
tumia pesa mpaka pesa ikuzoee.
But can you really tumia pesa mpaka pesa ikuzoee?
It's tricky because we work hard. We work very hard. And we also work smart. Not just work hard, we also work smart. We make what we make. We share what we can, with the people who we work with. For example, we share with our parents the little that we can when we choose to.
I don't know why you're putting parents, moms.
Are we experiencing our relationship, the relationship we're having with money? Are we experiencing it in this way because of lack of our dads
not being in the picture? Yes.
Not being in the picture.
If they were in the picture, we wouldn't need to take care of our moms. There wouldn't be that void.
Yeah.
Because normally people would make their money and think about themselves. Where am I going to start? I'm going to rent a room, buy a TV, buy what? You always sent money home. Where did this thought process start?
Because you see,
What made you feel like it was your place and your responsibility to get the money that you earned? As you're saying, you learned, I must earn my own money so I don't have to explain myself. But then again, turn around and send all this money home. Why then do you feel the need to hold on to money and not spend it on yourself? And when you spend money, you're not usually your first priority. Other people are your first priority. I'm still not clear on that. For me, it's clear. I grew up poor. That's why I hold on to money. I mean, I grew up poor. I saw how the rich ninio. Of course, niko na machungu. You know, I have this polar. It's pollard. It's this and this in my head about money. I want to get here, but I come from here. That's why I'm working. I'm really trying to work towards there. And that's why sometimes it really gets to me when my plans don't work. It gets to me when what I had envisioned that, okay, Christina, this is what is going to help us cross to that side. When that doesn't work, it really gets to me. Because man, I am really trying not to stay on this other end of the spectrum. Because this is how I grew up. And unfortunately, my eyes and my mind has been opened up to what this other side could be. So I feel like I have to get to this side. I mean, with my case, it's clear. Why? Why are your money behaviors the way they are? Inadvertently, you had to fill in your father's shoes. Inadvertently. You see yourself, don't see yourself often as your mother's child. You often see yourself as your mother's protector, provider. These are not your titles. These are titles you had to unfortunately fill in because a void was left by your dad. I think that's the reason why your behaviors with money are the way they are. Your brother was lucky enough not to have that pressure thrown on his shoulders. Otherwise, nyinyi wote wawili mngekuwa mna behave the way you are with money. But the way you specifically deal with money is because you inadvertently had to fill a void that was left. And subconsciously, it seems you're not doing this consciously. Subconsciously, filling in shoes that weren't yours. Unfortunately, you are a son, one, and two, you are her first son. You are this male figure that unfortunately the eyes turn to when your father is no longer in the picture. You're the protector, you're the provider, you're the coverer. Unfortunately, these aren't supposed to be your titles, but life maze. That's why you're the way with money. In all the stories that you've told me today, actually, it makes sense why you don't make yourself a priority. Because in all these times that ukiwa hapo XYZ, this is money that you would have been able to invest and would have been able to place yourself. Vituka hizi ungekuwa ulibuy kitambo. Easy. Ulibuy kitambo. But you buy yourself your phone, you pay your rent, you buy food. Mato ako sawa. Hizo zingine zote to other people. That is why you are the way with money. Unfortunately, your father leaving affected how you deal with money and how you view money. You normally be like this to other people. Hey, you want this shika? You want this shika? You need this? You forget yourself to some point. But why kushikilia do?
I think also Niju, other than my dad, I've never received from anyone else.
That is so unfortunate, my love. Okay, that's proper. Yeah. Watoto wa broken homes, we need our own inaitwaje hiyo meeting.
Tent yenu.
To meet kwa hiyo tent. Because for us girls, I'm not saying it's easier on us, but I cannot imagine how many men are in his position whereby they had to fill positions za mababa zao and take on responsibilities za mababa zao while still trying to figure out themselves as men. And now even having their own families. I cannot imagine, honey. Oh, you need therapy.
No, mimi niko sawa.
You need therapy.
Niko poa. Unasema nini wewe?
Oh, honey.
Niko sawa. Anyway, but it's true. It's either I'm the one giving.
You've never received money by Marto. Shikaka ka check mazi.
Yeah.
Even from your uncles.
None.
That is so sad.
None. No, it's not sad. Okay.
No, it's sad.
I don't know.
We have this thing we have this thing in our culture where we feel like pain and hardship is a badge of honor. Which is not. It is very sad that nobody has done this to you. You've always been the one, oh, unataka hii, you need this.
I'm capable.
Listen.
I'm capable
No,
of it.
you're not always capable because inabidingi urudi, listen. Inabidingi urudi to Martin's box, shift your needs, put them to the back so that you can create some money to give to these other people. Because that is a hard truth. You've had to forgo some things that you needed and wanted for yourself to be able to give to these other people. The trauma clearly is a lot. Clearly.
There is trauma.
The trauma. I'm coming from a point of knowledge.
She's using my lines, by the way. These are my words. These are my
I'm
words.
coming from a
These
point
are
of
my
knowledge.
words.
I live with you and have seen how you behave with money. Sometimes you put yourself last to put other people first. I think I told you this. You remind me of my mother. That is how she has always been with money. Having to shift priorities, that she wanted to do something with this money alikuwa amepanga, but then shifts it to create space for this other person. And I read a book about one of the traits of financially successful people. They don't do that. They don't. Kama mtu alikuwa amepangia hiyo pesa kufanya hii kitu, ataifanya na atakwambia sina, straight to your face. Ama atakwambia I have the money but iko na hii purpose. I can't do it. But then again, I can't blame you because again you filled in shoes of being the protector, the provider, the coverer. You're always Daddy Marto. Nobody has been a daddy to you.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's sad. It's unfortunate. I hope we are not able to carry this over to our son.
That is my number one hope and prayer, that there's a lot about this money conversation. First of all, I didn't even see it getting to where it has gotten to right now, which means whether we have to cut it short because it is getting to 5 a.m. kawaida ya mtu kushutu siku. We need to cut this short here.
I can be your therapist.
Clearly. You're coming from a point of knowledge.
Call me.
The therapist would have had to tell a lot more things. So in conclusion, there's clearly and definitely a correlation between how we relate with money and our childhoods. Not even our childhood, just how we grew up.
To show you how deep this conversation is, we haven't even touched on how we saw our parents deal with money, because that also affects you and your understanding of money.
How
you see your parents deal and behave towards money and their purchasing behaviors, their investing behaviors, saving behaviors, that affects how you deal with money.
And then also, if there has ever been a deliberate conversation on money between you and your parents.
Yeah, I feel it's personally more of understanding money. We haven't been taught to understand money and how it behaves. Because you can be taught to save, you can be taught to invest, but you're not taught this is how money behaves. Money, in as much as we don't like to admit, is a whole entity. It has its own traits and behaviors. There's a way money behaves no matter what you do.
Unaachiwa tu shule ikufunze mambo ya pesa na haitoshagi. Hiyo ya shule peke yake huwa haitoshi.
I don't even think our own parents understand, unless you come from a point of real privilege where people have understood money before you, have made their investments and the businesses have grown and taken off. They understand how money behaves. I don't think our parents really understand money.
Actually, because in most cases,
our moms,
especially our generation right now, we're in a generation where a lot of parents had to make a lot of sacrifices so that some of us can go to school and study. So they also don't have a relationship with money per se.
Don't.
It's hand to mouth.
Yeah. Unless you're privileged and come from money. I don't really think you understand money. I don't really think our parents really understand money. Okay, let me say in my case, my mom, because she hasn't had a point where kukaa chini, okay, now let's do this, let's make a few investments, see how they behave. She didn't have that privilege. Yeah, alikuwa anang'ang'ana kusurvive.
Anyway, let's finish this here.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is, how do you relate with money right now? And do you think how you grew up affects how you relate with money right now? If you don't mind, we've shared with you guys what our childhoods have done to how we relate with money. So please, hapo kwa comment section, you can just share kidogo to what you have reevaluated when you had this story. Ukasikia, by the way, this, when I look back, I actually see the reason why I'm like this with money is maybe because this and this. You might have a therapist who might give you some insights that you did not even expect to hear.
No,
you
I'm
know?
not a therapist.
That was actually very shocking.
Shocking?
No, to have you tell me, as opposed to me knowing that could have been the reason.
Definitely affects how you deal with money.
Anyway,
Definitely.
guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We shall see you in the next one. I think
Mahali
mahali imeanza. I think the next one is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. Make sure you also watch the previous episodes.
Yeah.
The links have been flying somewhere up here. So please, and thank you very much. Share these videos.
Tell your people to subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Here we have fun and we learn. And we get vulnerable.
Listen, yeah, we get vulnerable, but I'm going to give you the real. It really supports our channel when you like, comment, and subscribe. Now it's free.
Yes,
for free. Click. So please like, comment, subscribe to our channel, share with your friends if you feel this resonates with you. Please support our channel. Yay!
All right, guys. Till the next one.
Bye.